All right, we'll see. All right, audio check 1 2. Audio check 1 2. So we're gonna try this outside. The internet connection, again, we always have this issue. We always have issues with the internet. However, it's a work in progress here, so let us know if the audio quality is good or the video quality as well.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the video to pop up on my phone.
Yeah.
It hasn't yet, so.
All right, so is everybody ready for the Australian Open? You, Carla?
Not really,
Why?
because we've been busy and you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, speaking about a lot going on, I wanted to start today's video with a shout out to my sister. My sister passed away this morning after a long battle with cancer. My sister was a very good tennis player, a really good human being, and she was entered to heaven this morning. So much love to my mother, my father. I know they're taking it relatively hard. She has been battling cancer for a long time. And at least she is resting now at this point.
Very true.
Okay? How is the audio and video quality before we get into it? I would rather restart now than restart later, correct?
It looks, the video looks good, but remember my phone's a little bit older, so I can't really quite.
All right, well, let's do this. Welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Again, please let us know if there's any audio or video issues. Don't forget that if you are going to be playing the fantasy team competition as well as the $500 cash giveaway competition, please check out that video. It's on, it's right here on the channel, and it's the video we did the video before last. So if you have any questions about the rules for the fantasy team competitions, how do you pick your players, where to put the submissions, then check that video out. And as well, a shout out to Thomas Chi in Canada, and as well Gene Swart in South Africa. They are going to be running the competitions that Carla and I always did manually by hand and paper. They're going to be running it computerized. They have created a program to track that. So Gene, Thomas will be your go-to for that. And of course, I will take care of the winners in terms of payment. All right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on.
Gene says, my condolences. And Milan Matavush said, rest in peace, my condolences. Hello from Serbia.
Let's go, and we're going to get right into Novak right off. And you know, some people will watch and say, "Geez, all you talk about is Novak." And it's not that we are just Novak Djokovic fans. He's the #1 player in the world for #1 for the first reason. But #2, there's a lot of things that Djokovic does as an athlete, as a human being, that resonates with us. He's someone that we respect a lot simply because he doesn't really go around brown-nosing everybody and kissing anybody's asses, and he just does what he believes in, and he does it with integrity. So don't hate on us for talking about Djokovic a lot. It's just that he is...
Dushan said, I cannot see you while you are dark against the light background.
Okay, I can change that.
Okay.
We'll scoot it over. All right, so you'll come here, and then I'll flip it this way.
Close this then.
All right, we'll try it that way. Let's do it. A little crooked, but that's good. Okay.
I'll take this on, Dustin.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, appreciate that. So we'll see if that makes it any better. Yeah? All right. Topic #1. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Australian Open draw for a moment.
Is that good? Is that better now, guys? I'm waiting for
We'll figure it out. They'll let us know in the comments. We have a finite amount of time because we have a lesson coming in a little while. All right, so the draw. I haven't looked at the draw entirely. I've glanced at it. I know Carla has looked at it. I just haven't had the time. What are your thoughts on the draw starting out?
Well, I looked at the draw. First of all, I read that Djokovic is still waiting. Possibly the minister is still deciding on his visa. He was practicing on the tennis court and he got a text message or something. So I'm not sure if he's even playing. But I saw his first round was Kecmanovic.
So 2 Serbians in the first round.
Yes, 2 Serbians in the first round.
Does that seem odd to you?
No, because I saw a lot of that. I wrote down notable matches because, like I said, we haven't had much time. You know, we've been teaching and stuff, so we haven't had much time. But I saw Djokovic is facing Kecmanovic. And I saw he was the #1 seed. I saw Nadal was the #6 seed.
Okay.
Wow, which is
Same half of the draw.
hard to see Nadal in the 6th seed, which means they would meet in the semis.
Okay,
And,
so same half of the draw.
same half of the draw.
Do you think Nadal even makes it to the semifinal?
That's possible. I mean, I saw Khachanov was in there. I think he would meet him somewhere around 4th round or something like that.
I don't think.
I didn't expect Nadal to win anyways. Did you expect Nadal to win? Did you really know?
No, I don't particularly I don't particularly think it would be out of the question for Nadal to lose prior to that. Let's talk about Novak Djokovic just for a moment. Do you think that Novak Djokovic will be mentally incapacitated if he does play? Do you think he's mentally tough enough to get through all this negative press and all this negative media and ultimately be ready to be a tactician on the tennis court, or do you think this will play against him?
I think he'll play against him this time. I
Right?
think he's got yeah, usually he does good with negative attitude, but I think this is just a lot. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much, and I guess I made a mistake. Rafa, sorry, typo. So yeah, they would face in the third round. Yeah, Nadal,
Third round?
Kachanov, no.
Oh, okay.
No. But from what I saw Djokovic had Sonego on his side. I saw Nori plays Petra Korda, which is a tough match, I thought. That's a tough matchup. Lajovic and Fusovic, once again, play against each other on the first round. Berrettini Nakashima was another notable match. The only reason I say that's because they do well he does well on hardcore. That's the only reason why I mentioned it.
Fair enough.
Opelka and Anderson. I guess they wanted to get rid of the big servers right off the start.
Yeah, and doesn't John Isner play Maxime Cressy, the 6'6" Frenchman in the first round?
Isner does.
Isner
does.
So Isner plays.
What's his name say he was going to pick Cressy?
Yes, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so interesting first round matchup. So Opelka and Anderson and Cressy and Isner square off in the first.
Jose P says Djokovic might be exhausted, so hopefully he gets some short matches early round to warm up. Lucifer said, hi guys, I think Novak will do fine. He thrives in negativity. Dushan says Nadal and Zverev in the quarterfinals.
Is there a difference between, as Dushan just said about the negativity, is there a difference between the crowd being negative? Like look at Medvedev when he plays. The crowd gets all against him and it fires him up, and then at the end of the day, the crowd ends up kind of liking him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the energy that's transpiring here is much more than negative. I think it's kind of a sinister energy for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Djokovic will be able to use.
No, it's a different type.
It's a different type.
It's different when you're playing and people are booing you.
Yeah.
Than from what you're having to deal with a lot of problems. It's people don't deal with problems no matter how. It's tough for them. I don't care how strong you are. It's when you're dealing with something tough, it's tough to do well.
Yeah.
You know that. Like
exactly.
if something bad is happening in the house and you got to teach a lesson.
Yeah.
Can you really think?
Yes,
and that's just a lesson. Right?
Exactly. It's different if I'm a bad boy in tennis or I'm a bad boy in basketball or whatever it is. I can get out there and I can just act bad boyish, right? And I can fire myself up, self-motivation. Come on, I don't care what you think. Get some. Let's go. Right? That type of energy you can flip the switch on, right? But it's hard to flip the switch on some type of energy that has been fabricated, I think, for the most part. In other words, people are making up things like Djokovic is a liar and all this other stuff.
We saw the anchors, right? They were talking. We saw the video where the two Australian anchors were calling him an a-hole, and they were calling him a liar and stuff. So we know people, the way they really feel.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's gotten into his head.
Yeah.
He was detained. He's still going through a, possibility of still getting deported.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot going on there. It's tough to deal with it.
Yeah.
A perfect example, I think when, I'll give Brian, one of our viewers, came to play me, he was dealing with some things, family, not a family's death, but a student's death, and he came to play me. It was tough for him to get through that. Anything that you're going through mentally, that you're having to deal with is going to be tough to get through in a match.
Especially something that is consuming your mental energy. So if I'm on the court and let's say I have the bad boy persona, right? Then I can still be a tactician. I can still think a step ahead. But let's say, for instance, and I'm trying to be positive about it, but my sister passed away, rest in peace, respectively. But if I was in a tournament right now, I think I would not play simply because every time I would go pick up a ball, every time I would have to go sit down and rethink what my tactics would be, that would be weighing on my mind.
Yeah, you're always going to be thinking about that. Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of hard to concentrate. So, he's not going through a family's death, but he's going through something tough.
The half of the world thinks one way and the other half of the world thinks the other way.
I think more like 80% of the world thinks
you think it's 80%?
I think of him that way. I agree with him. So I would be
yeah.
in the minority. I would be the one that'd be hated. But I think 80% of the world thinks he's shit right now.
Well, what I think is the worst is the way, and maybe I'm wrong, and I don't have the time to keep up with all the ins and outs here, but I think Australia handled this like a bunch of bozos. So he comes to the country. He's and correct me if my timeline is incorrect. He comes to the country. He gets pulled off to the side and goes through this, and then all of a sudden it's okay. And then now it's not okay again. So here we are, it's an up and down, up and down, up and down. Where are we going with it? Sometimes I feel like it, I'm making up a conspiracy theory here, but sometimes it seems to me that Australia or the powers greater than us seem like they are really trying to pull his energy away from winning this tournament. It almost seems...
They don't want him to pass the vote?
I don't know. And yes, I get it. It's the conspiracy. But it just seems that way. Ask yourself a question. If this was Roger Federer in his prime, is Roger Federer in the same situation?
No.
If Nadal was in this situation, do you think he would ever be in the situation?
No.
It's really easy for them to pick on Novak, politically, geopolitically, so forth. So it's really quite a shocking thing. I don't think that the way it was handled by Australia, and what little do I know, I'm a dumb human being.
I think that they should have kept that hush hush. I don't know why it got so much publicity. Victor says, have you heard Navratilovan's comments about Novak and Serbian people? I have not. What did she say?
I read something that alluded to, I think Martina was saying something like, he messed up, it didn't add up, basically insinuating that, he shouldn't play. Something like that, am I right? I read an article.
Somewhere where if I were Novak, I'd go back.
Yeah, like go back or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Navratilova someone that defected from Yugoslavia? So
she did.
So isn't that kind of a catch-22, someone like her saying go back home when she herself left on her own? Am I right or wrong?
She should know better than anyone. She's been through her ups and downs.
Yeah,
she's gay, openly gay, which just there's nothing wrong with that, but she's had people hate on her, so she knows exactly what he must be going through, because she was also involved in a relationship, I remember many years ago, that became very public.
Yeah.
Very nasty relationship, so she should know out of everybody.
Yeah.
What it is to have negative media around you, negative, comments around you.
Yeah, Martina, arguably one of the best.
She's Czechoslovakian, yes, you're right.
Martina, arguably one of the best tennis players of all time, if not the best. I think she has the most major count by far if you add in doubles, singles, as a whole. But I would take what she says about going back home with a grain of salt, because she left her home too.
Well, Victor says, she said we had issues with them, Serbian fans, referring to them. Before Melbourne and Sydney, if he plays, it would only get worse. Women what? Now you're protecting Australia from Serbs hooligans? So that's what she said, Serbs.
Yeah.
Them. Well, I think that's pretty messed up. I don't think she should really be giving her opinion on that.
Yeah,
she's like one that should really keep her mouth shut.
Yeah, you think?
Her, John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, there's quite a few others,
whatever.
There's a few of them that should never make comments like that. Let's go back to the matches that I noted. De Minaur, Musetti, I thought was an interesting match.
What are your thoughts about Musetti after his run where at the French?
I think he'll be all right this year. He could be De Minaur.
You don't think his one-hander is going to get picked on quite a bit on that fast hard court?
Probably, but De Minaur is Australian, so he might feel the pressure in Australia.
Is it true that Australia has a tough time of creating a champion that wins on their own turf?
Yeah.
Patrick Rafter never did it, right? Patrick Rafter, won 2 U.S. Opens?
Yeah.
Couldn't take the Australian. I think Rafter won a Wimbledon as well. Couldn't take Australia. Who are some more Australian people that have ultimately failed?
Dozier.
Leighton Hewitt never won.
Alicia Molik. There's quite a few. I don't know if Barty can do it. We'll see.
We'll see. She hasn't done it yet. And I think that Barty and Osaka are in the same half of the draw, by the way. So we have Novak and Nadal and
Rafa.
Rafa.
But Osaka and Barty would meet a lot earlier.
Yeah, something like like a third round maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah, and by the way, need I repeat myself? Raducanu who? Who?
Stevens. She plays Stevens.
Raducanu who?
Stevens. She could lose. Stevens just got married. She looked very beautiful in her gown. And
Raducanu who? Didn't Raducanu who just get beaten by Rabakina 0-1? Didn't she just get a bagel and a French fry?
I think so.
She's the GOAT though. Raducanu's the GOAT. What?
Another interesting match I saw is Bashvili, wife beater, against crybaby Murray.
Okay, go Murray there.
Yeah. He beat him last time. Bashvili beat him last time.
Does Murray have a chance to go deep into the tournament? Does he have a chance to pull some big 3 or some big 4 back in the day type stuff? Does he have a chance to roll deep into the tournament?
Good. He might be angry. He's angry at Djokovic.
Isn't he a wild card?
He's angry at Djokovic right now.
Isn't Murray a wild card?
I think so.
Who was the last wild card, not on the women's side, we get that just happened with Raducanu. Who was the last wild card man to win a major? Goran Ivanisevic?
Wasn't he a
I
qualifier?
think it was Wimbledon. Yeah, he was a qualifier. No, I think he was a wild card.
What did Tsitsipas say? Someone said here, Gene said, Miss Tsitsipas made a few controversial comments about Djokovic. If I were him, I would shut up with the bathroom breaks.
Tsitsipas is a sissy, man.
Percy09 said Osaka has to get through Bencic first, who always beats her. Dushan says Tsitsipas is the model of disappointment because he took the back.
Thank you, Dushan.
The back seat.
Everybody used to give me grief. I used to call Tsitsipas sissy ass, sissy bitch, and all this stuff. But I hope you now understand that. Raducanu on the women's side is a bigger disappointment. The only thing for Carla and I is when she won the U.S. Open, just like what was it, Roberta Vinci or Flavia Pennetta, that was joking about it too. Was it Pennetta or Vinci? One of the two. Yeah, one of the two Italian girls were saying, if this was the era.
It was Pennetta who said it.
Pennetta? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the third of the Italians. So they indicated freely if Raducanu, she at the point in time she won the U.S. Open, was in their era, that she wouldn't have come near the final. And we said that before Vinci or Pennetta said it, right? So she wins the U.S. Open with half the field not playing, not half, I'm exaggerating, but a lot of the field not playing, delayed in a COVID time frame, and she wins it. And look, I'm not going to name other YouTubers' names, but there's quite a few of them. We got the new greatest of all time. She's the GOAT. As soon as she won, man, all these channels are popping up. We waited about, a couple of days and laughed about it. I caught so much grief when I did that video about Raducanu. People were like, what the hell do you know? Where are we at?
First, and I said, who do you have? Who or chocolate milk?
I'm going to take chocolate milk. I'm going to take Sloane Stevens. And good, he's been watching the show. But yes, that's my nickname for Sloane Stevens is chocolate milk. Why?
Because she makes those commercials.
Because she makes chocolate milk commercials.
So another one I saw was Medvedev. Here we go, second round.
Medvedev's going to destroy him.
Should be interesting. Just fun to watch, I guess.
Well, he'll have the crowd behind him, A. B, he'll be able to kind of show out in his backyard, right? But I think that's about as far as it goes. I think the crowd might get some entertainment. He might win a set, maybe, right? But I think ultimately he's not in the physical shape to go deep in 5 sets, especially not against the likes of Daniil Medvedev. I don't see him having a shot. Do you? Maybe early in the tournament, he can play a little bit better.
Maybe.
We'll see.
All right, let's go to the women. I put here, Georgia Camila plays Potapova. Tough first round. Osaka Osario, so she's gonna have to listen to a lot of shrieking.
Osorio has no shot.
But her ears are gonna hurt in that match.
Yeah.
Osaka's ears.
Yeah.
Bekic and Risk. Another screech against
off.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Sophia Kenin plays against Madison Keys.
Interesting match, first rounder. That's happened before.
Yeah.
You always, just like Kekmanovic is playing. He's playing Djokovic. So Djokovic, Kekmanovic, a lot of times you'll see like Donald Young taking on Tommy Paul or someone like that. It seems odd that you have so many pairings between countrymen and countrywomen when they're from the same country. It seems like they're just trying to weed out select countries early on.
Maybe. Badosa and Tomljanovic.
Are you sold yet on Badosa?
No, but that's why I was laughing, because Tomljanovic has a good shot beating her.
Isn't Tomljanovic Nick Kyrgios' ex-girlfriend?
Berrettini's now.
Berrettini's now?
Yeah.
So she did
better. So
she
Not
stepped
that I
up.
like Berrettini.
So
she did better.
She went from Kyrgios to...
At least a little bit classier,
Who
right?
did you say she was?
Berrettini. Yeah.
Okay, I wonder how she... Okay, so she likes the dark-headed guys. Okay.
Yeah, she likes dark,
okay.
hairy guys.
Now, speaking of Donna Vekic, is Stan the Man, Wawrinka, he's not playing, right? Is he playing at the Australian Open?
No.
So didn't Donna Vekic used to date Wawrinka?
Yes.
Okay.
First and I said, Fly Swatter forehand, Swiatek has an easy draw.
I still don't think she does well either. Swiatek's a good player, but I still don't think she's great.
Nanan said, hi guys, you're doing good as always. Hello, Nanan. Nanat. Let's see, what are those? Kontaveit, Sienakova, Mertens, Ivanova, Kerber, Kanepi, Mertens,
That's a good match.
Ivanova.
Kerber, Kanepi, first round?
Yep.
That's so far the best first round match I've heard you say. Again, I haven't looked at it, but Kerber, Kanepi, that could be a lights out match. I think it will be. You can't tell me that Isner and Cressy you're gonna stay awake and watch.
First and I said Halep has a tough draw, Mugu and Power, Rybakina in her section. Honestly, any of the women's matches could be a tough match because you just never know how they're gonna play.
Let's talk about dark horses for a minute. Who are some people that male and female, WTA or ATP, that you think may have a chance to go really deep that we're not even bringing up and maybe no one's even talking about?
Women?
Either side.
And men?
Yeah, either one. I mean, is there anyone out there, given the fact that Djokovic plays, that is going to beat the likes of him or Medvedev? I still don't think that Zverev is going to win his first major. When I see Zverev in the draw, I don't even think he's, all that special of a player, much less to beat Djokovic and Medvedev.
What's up with this thing that I read? Australian Open ticket sales paused at 50% capacity by Victorian government. So I guess they don't want,
something like that. Anyway, I mean, the tournament, it's going to be a good tournament. All majors are great, but for some reason, this whole mess with Novak leading up to it has really put a kind of a sore on the tournament. It's made it just ugly, right?
And it definitely has. It's put a dampener.
Yeah, like a dampener. Yeah, it's dampened it down. So the tournament is like a tennis racket. It's got a vibration dampener on it, right? Mm-hmm. Their controlling of this is. It's okay. I mean, the way that they're trying to treat COVID, and that's respectable. But the way it went down in this situation involving a human being, we tend to forget that Novak Djokovic is a human being. He's a person. He has feelings. He has emotions. I'm sure that his wonderful family or his coaches or his wife know him as a person and not just someone that's plastered all over the front pages of the newspapers for all the wrong reasons. So surely he is having ups and downs with this as well and doing a good job in front of the world, acting like the champion that he is. But I can assure you that his mentality will be compromised to a certain degree.
Gene Short says Alcaraz could be a dark horse.
That's a good one. I just think he's still too young, though. 2 out of 3 sets, he'd have a better shot. 3 out of 5, that young, that experienced.
It's kind of tough for me to pick a dark horse because honestly, guys, I just haven't watched much tennis, and with everything being watered down and so many tournaments at the end, I mean, that don't really matter, and then all this drama going on, and then just so much going on in our lives. I just really haven't watched someone say, yeah, that's the person that we need to watch for. I just feel like if Djokovic doesn't play, it's a wide open draw.
Yeah, put it this way. If Djokovic is not in the tournament, now we're going through the 3rd round. He plays, he won't play. He plays, whatever. It's getting hard to follow. Yeah. But if he's not in the tournament, if someone out there guesses or predicts the men's finalists, the women's finalists, and both winners, when I pay out the $500, I won't be as upset because I know it'll be very difficult.
It'll be very... Lucifer, I like your comment. Why would I have 50% capacity when over 90% are vaccinated?
It's a great point.
That's what I always... I don't get that.
Yes.
I don't get that.
We said that on the last video. Why, and again, we will never get into whether we're pro or against anything that involves race, religion, politics, sometimes sports, depending on where you are, and now this COVID thing. Because if we say we're for it, then the people that are against it hate us and vice versa, right? Mm-hmm. But if you are vaccinated against something, then why would it matter if someone that is around you is not? Because ultimately, aren't you vaccinated? So I get that, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And now people are going to get, their 3rd and 4th and 5th shots and booster here and booster there. But yet they still must quarantine if they're around. It's a mess and it's hard to explain, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not a proponent of for or against. We will always keep that private. Mm-hmm. Okay? Anyway, who wins the tournament, Carla, on the men's side? Let's imagine Djokovic plays. Who wins the tournament? Does he still win it given his mentality surely being compromised?
So, no.
I don't think so either. No. I hope so. Let's go. Come on. Let's get that 21. Let's get down. Whoa, let's go. I hope so. But I try to put myself in his shoes. And again, with the passing of a family member, my sister, I know on the court I would be subject to maybe injury, maybe not thinking clearly, not split stepping right, maybe I lose my footing. I don't know, but I don't know if I would even play, right?
Yeah, I don't know either.
So I don't think he wins if he plays, and obviously if he doesn't play, he doesn't have a chance to win. I don't think Zverev's going to win. I think Medvedev has a really good shot at getting another one, right?
Medvedev could, yes. I would think Medvedev has the best, or Zverev.
No. Puppy hater, no shot. No shot. I tell you what, if Zverev wins this tournament, you all can come up with something crazy that I have to do on the podcast following that win, if that happens.
Iron 26 said, Djokovic doesn't play, I will never watch Australian Open again.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
William Spencer said, the new normal is here to stay. Sadly, 90% vax, plus yet countries are tightening laws across the world.
Yeah.
Gene says, if Djokovic plays, let Djokovic play and deport him afterwards. They will ban Djokovic. He will appeal with court date after the final.
Well, we'll see if he plays. I think before we started the hit the record button, I think that he got pulled off the court practicing, right? So
I just don't understand. If you are that strict, then you wouldn't even let him get on a plane. You would tell him immediately, call, hey, we're not allowing blah 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 blah, and just stop the mess, stop the chaos, stop the bleeding, right? Just stop it.
Yeah, it's like a theatrical performance, a sickening theatrical performance. Who wins on the women's side? If you had to take a guess.
I'll go Osaka.
I'm going to go with Osaka as well. I would love to go Barty. I love Barty a lot. I love her game.
I don't think she can do it there.
But it's a curse. It is a curse for an Australian player to win their own major.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm trying to see if there's any news about him, but I don't. I'm reading this comment here. This player that was also in Djokovic's same situation, Renata Borakova, said, I felt like a criminal when I got kicked out of Australia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are making some of these people out, namely Novak Djokovic, to look like a criminal. And that is awful.
It is.
Right? He just got on a plane, did what his team had advised him to do,
you know, some tennis
landed, and here we
commentators
go.
making these comments, you guys are just tennis commentators. I mean...
Yeah, and who the hell is John McEnroe anyway?
Who are you to judge someone? I don't get it. Like, I feel like, again, I mean, I understand when people decide to do what they do or don't, but I think that we should respect, you know, and his privacy too.
Yeah, and the hideous thing is some of these commentators making these comments have been some of the most shitty sportsmen in the history of tennis, namely John McEnroe. It's watching John McEnroe play in the 80s multiple times in person with my father. Just ridiculous. It almost made you cringe to hear how he treated the lines people and or the chair umpires. Belittled them, demeaned them, made them look like shit. Yeah. And he got off on it. And here he is making comments about what Novak and Djokovic should do. And then you have Martina Navratilova, who defected from Czechoslovakia because of a sexuality preference and other stuff. And she's gonna talk. She's gonna start yapping her mouth. Do me a favor. Shut up. Get lost. All right. Anyway, this has been an abbreviated show. Again, we'll start doing them more frequently once the matches start. We have a lesson coming in a few minutes. So back to the court we go. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button. By the way, do not forget to check out the video on our playlist or on this playlist or whatever. And it's titled Australian Open 2022 Fantasy Team and $500 cash giveaway. Click it and all the rules are there.
And make sure Regine and Tom Chi, I think I got your email, Tom Chi, about your you're having issues and you're using your personal account. That's fine, but make sure that you guys put your picks in there because those guys are going to be the ones checking it. We won't have time to do that.
Yeah,
maybe at nighttime I'll check just to make sure that. But I and Justin will, especially. I don't even know how he's here. Honestly, if it was my sibling, I don't know how you're here. But I don't know. We're different.
Look, given the situation, Carla, where's my favorite place to be?
The tennis court. So I guess it helps him in his mind. So I guess that's the way he's grieving. But
yeah.
We're not going to have time to check your errors, so you guys have to make sure that you are doing it. I'm sure Gene will be on top of it. I'm sure Tom Gene will be on top of it, but it's very tough for us to do that.
Yes, please watch the video. Once the first ball has been struck, in other words, once the round one action starts and the first ball has been played, all picks will lock. There are no changing them. I will personally be keeping up, and yes, Gene and Thomas, you keep up with it as well. But because look, I'm giving away $100 to two winners to the fantasy teams either way. The top two winners are going to win $50 each, okay? I'm going to be paying Thomas and Gene for doing the work. So I'm coming out $200 no matter what. I'm going to pay Gene and Thomas 50 and 50 US dollars, so that hopefully that goes further there than it does here. But I'm going to give away potentially $500. So I'm going to definitely keep track of that. Every time one comes in, I'm going to write it down, and there will be no changes whatsoever to that. Make sure to watch that video. If there's any changes after the first ball, won't be allowed at all. Anyway, it's going to be a great major with some asterisks next to it because of the Djokovic situation on top of the pre-existing COVID situation, which ultimately puts an asterisk on everything right now, right? Anyway, enjoy your day. Much love to my sister up there. And I'm going to keep staying positive and fight through this day. Mm-hmm. All right? Much love. We'll see you very soon. As soon as round 1 is complete, boom, we'll do a show, whether it's late at night back at the house or here. Okay?
Alrighty.
Go. Come on.
Bye, guys. Thank you for watching. A lot of you on. Thank you.